Hello everyone, my name is Joginder and I work with Lexorbis IP Attorneys as a partner. I am a registered patent agent with computer science background and I have been providing end-to-end patent services to clients from last 13 years. It is my pleasure to take up this session. I hope you will find it interesting. Let's begin. Like any other jurisdiction, there are certain provisions in India patent law which are unique to India only. One such requirement relates to the filing of working statement. The Indian patent law mandates that the applicant must submit a working statement reflecting the extent of working of a granted patent every year. This is to ensure that the patent is being commercially used to the fullest extent and serving its intended purpose by meeting public requirements. If the patent is not worked in India for 3 years from the date of grant of a patent, it opens the window for the persons interested to seek compulsory license from the patentee to work the invention. Therefore, in order to avoid any undesirable consequences, it is recommended that the applicants diligently comply with this unique provision. However, the applicants generally find it difficult to furnish the required information for multiple reasons, such as confidentiality of data involved and complexity in determining the exact extent of the working of the invention. It is pertinent to note that the most of the patent offices across the globe do not ask for working statement, but every Indian patentee or licensee needs to provide information related to commercial exploitation of its patents on Form 27. Under Section 146(1) of Indian Patents Act, a working statement needs to be furnished when the controller requests for it. The statement must also be provided on a voluntary basis in respect of each year under Section 146(2). In 2015, a public interest petition was filed at the Delhi High Court to bring to the court's attention that the working statements were not being filed in all cases. Further, patentees were not disclosing complete information in the working statement using the excuse that it was confidential. The High Court, while hearing the petition, noted the practical difficulties being faced by the patentees in providing the information on the working of patents. In particular, the information on working of a patent to confirm whether the public requirement has been met partly or adequately or to the fullest extent at a reasonable price was considered vague. The court directed the patent office to take the appropriate steps required for effecting the necessary modification in the relevant Form 27. As a result of the court's direction, the patent office deliberated the changes in the structure of Form 27 and invited public objections and suggestions. Recently, the Government of India has introduced a few changes in the format and procedures involved with the filing of working statement for patents in India. The changes became effective from October 19, 2020, and the new format and the procedure would apply to the working statement to be filed in 2021 and onwards. The revised format of the working statement was first circulated by the Government of India in May 2019, and it was discussed among the stakeholders at various rounds of meetings with the government. The new Form 27 is based on the suggestions provided by stakeholders including industry and professional associations. The important changes introduced in the working statement procedure are the following. First is that the due date for filing the annual working statement has been changed from March 31 to September 30 of each year. Next important change is that the period of working to be covered under the working statement has been replaced from calendar year, that is January to December, to financial year, that means April to March. Apart from that, no working statement is required to be filed for the financial year in which the patent is granted. In other words, for patents granted from April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2021, no working statement is required to be filed in 2021, and the first working statement for such patents would be filed by or before September 30, 2022, covering the period from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022. Let me clarify this. Previously, the working statement was required to be filed by March 31st every year, covering the working of the patent in the previous calendar year. This rule was applicable for the patents which were granted in the previous calendar year or before. Now, under the amended rules, the working statement are required to be filed by September 30 every year, covering the previous financial year, that is the period from April 1st to March 31st, and no working statement is required to be filed for the financial year in which the patent was issued. In other words, the first working statement under the amended rules is required to be filed by September 2021, and the statement can cover the period starting from January 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. That is a 15 months period for the patents which were granted prior to April 1st, 2020. You must have noticed that in the first working statement to be filed under the amended rules, the period covered is more than 12 months or financial year, and this is to maintain the continuity as the period covered under working statement filed in 2020 was only up to December 31st, 2019. As such, it is not required to file working statement by March 31st, 2021 to cover the 3 months period, and those 3 months can be covered in the working statement to be filed by September 30th, 2021. For the patents which were granted between April 1st, 2020 and March 31st, 2021, the first working statement would require to be filed by September 30, 2022, covering the period from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022. Not by September 30, 2021, since the amended rules provide exemption for filing working statement for the financial year in which it was granted. And more importantly, one working statement can be filed in respect of multiple related patents, wherein the approximate value or revenue accrued from a particular patented invention cannot be derived separately from the approximate value or revenue accrued from the related patents, and all such patents are granted to the same patentees. In other words, we can now file one working statement for the patent portfolio which is used for manufacturing one product or for implementing technology in one product. Co-owners of a patent can jointly file one working statement in respect of one or related patents. However, each licensee would require to file the working statement separately. The requirement for providing the quantum of patented product manufactured or imported into India has been removed from the new and simplified Form 27. And likewise, there is no requirement of providing the details of licenses issued in any given financial year in the working statement, which was previously required. The requirement of ascertaining and stating whether the reasonable requirement of public in India has been met by the patented product has also been deleted from the new Form 27. In case a patent is not worked in any financial year, then the patentee is required to file the not worked statement with the reasons for not working the invention and steps being taken towards working the patented invention. To sum up, the new Form 27 for furnishing the working statement reduces some burden on patentees by not requiring details of licenses and sublicenses, details of the countries for importation, declaration whether the public requirement has been met partly, adequately, or to the fullest extent at a reasonable price. However, the confidentiality concerns regarding providing revenue or value accrued from a patent in a publicly accessible document still persist for patentees. This data is directly related to the grounds on which a compulsory license can be sought. Further, it is not clear whether a single form can be filed in cases of multiple patents belonging to the same corporate group that may exist in the name of different subsidiaries of that group. Overall, though it is simplified form that has been widely welcomed by the patent holders mainly because a single request can now be filed in respect of multiple patents. This would cover divisional and patent of addition as well. The form can be submitted until September 30th for each financial year. Applicants are not required to provide details regarding licenses and sub-licenses, details of importation in terms of countries, and declaration whether the public requirement has been met partly, adequately, or to the fullest extent at a reasonable price. Despite the new Form 27, the existing requirements of the working statement continue to burden the patentees and the licensees by seeking information that is difficult to procure in most technology areas. In order to reduce this burden on the patentees and the licensees, I personally believe that the substantive legislative changes need to be made. The ideal situation would be to do away with the entire Section 146 and Form 27 because most foreign jurisdictions do not have such requirements and there is no strong reason why India should have it, considering this requirement discourages patent filing in India. If Section 146 is really required, at least its subsection 2 needs to be removed so that the patentee and the licensees are not required to voluntarily submit working statement for all the patents. It is not a hidden fact that only very few granted patents are actually commercialized, yet working statements are required for all granted patents. This puts unnecessary burden and huge cost implications onto the patentees and the licensees. Having said so, clarity needs to be provided on the circumstances under which the controller can seek a working statement. For example, it may be specified that the controller can seek a working statement while disposing of a request for compulsory license or while revoking a patent. There needs to be objectivity for a demand made under Section 146(1). Otherwise, it will lead to abrupt demands for the working statement at the whims and the fancies of the controllers. In some cases, such information can be confidential and sensitive from a business point of view. A provision may be included which allows the submission of a working statement information in a sealed cover, especially when it includes confidential information. Despite the recent attempt to simplify the format of Form 27, I feel there is a scope for further simplification of Form 27 to ensure its applicability for all technology areas. For example, the simplified form could seek information only to the extent of working or non-working of a patented technology and manufacturing or import in India, but without requiring the amount and the value. If necessary, the simplified form may include a declaration signed by the patentee or the licensee indicating their willingness to submit requested details whenever specifically asked to do so. Patent holders cannot simply ignore the filing of a working statement, considering that failure to furnish information is a punishable offense with fine which may extend up to 10 lakh rupees. Providing wrong information is punishable with imprisonment which may extend up to 6 months or with fine or with both. This particular provision has not been amended. It can form a ground for seeking a compulsory license from the patentee by a person interested. A patent can also be revoked on the ground of non-working according to Section 85 of the Indian Patent Act. Working or non-working of a patent is also an important factor considering uh, whenever any patent goes to a litigation. Most jurisdictions do not have working statement requirements and associated penalties for non-compliance. For example, a fine of approximately $15,000 for non-submission and the criminal liabilities for misrepresentations of the fact. Considering that there is no criminal action prescribed in the Patents Act against infringers of a patented technology, but there exists a provision, although it has never been exercised so far, for the imprisonment of patentees and the licensees in case of misrepresentation of the facts. It doesn't really show a good picture of the patent ecosystem in India. This needs to change as much as possible to ensure an effective patent enforcement regime in the country. Having said that, considering the persistent efforts of the stakeholders that have been witnessed in the recent years, it is reasonable to expect an improvement in the IP ecosystem, which is conducive to the innovation and creativity, not only in terms of IP awareness and creation, but also in terms of commercialization and enforcement. That is it from my side. And if you have any queries, you can ask me now or write to me at joginder@lexobis.com. Thank you very much. Bye.